In today's video, we're going to learn a valuable lesson from a $1 million per month one product store on Shopify in a really hyper competitive niche, but also a really massive trend. So it's kind of a good mix, and I think we'll learn a lot from it. So stay around and let's get right into it. So what I'm talking about is the Pod Company. If you've never heard of these guys, they sell a cold plunge tub, but it's a really nice one where you can kind of take it anywhere. It's affordable, it doesn't take a ton of space, and it's inflatable. You've probably seen this product before. These guys are not the only ones selling this, and that's a big lesson here. Lesson number one, there's a lot of competition out there, and what these guys are doing is kind of a clever way to get around it, because take a look at this trend line. The cold plunge trend is at an all-time high. Now, I don't think this is actually going to come down too much. I think it may, correct itself a little bit, but long term, it's only going to go up because the health benefits are becoming apparent. And here's the thing. These guys are really good at branding, because what I've seen before is the similar product on TikTok popping off, but the people on TikTok did not execute at this level. So that's what these guys are doing. They actually are taking that and taking it to Instagram Reels and Meta, and they're able to capitalize on it massively, since on Meta and Instagram, they've created a much better branding experience. So on TikTok, you don't really need this level of branding, because people are actually more accustomed to this UGC kind of content, user-generated content, and not very highly produced videos. But on Instagram, on the other hand, highly produced videos are more common, since Instagram has always been a sort of like artsy platform where people post their photography, their art. So it's associated with higher quality. And therefore, content that has higher quality can perform super well on Instagram. And that's exactly what these guys are doing. You can actually see it in the content that they run. So some of these ads, for example, if we take a look, are super nice, right? Like, this is a very high quality camera, but it's mixed with some Instagram fonts, some Instagram story fonts, which is very clever. So this is a great combination, and an easy way to get an edge over your competition is taking the UGC concept, but just making the video quality slightly better and running it on Instagram. You should definitely test it on TikTok as well. Not saying it can't work, but on Instagram, it definitely does fit a lot better. And that was just a really genius way to compete in a crowded market. This is a relatively new market, but man, competition has been rampant. And just a little idea that I want to toss out there, a little nugget, because I've never used one of these myself, but I've heard that it's actually kind of tricky to get this thing super cold all the time. So if somebody can figure out a way to make it cold easily, that would go a long way. Otherwise, you have to spend a lot of money actually buying ice to make this thing cold, which is kind of funny. But as I said before, like, they're not even linking to TikTok on their platform. They're only linking to Instagram. So that kind of tells you everything you need to know about their marketing strategy. And it's actually simple, but super effective. So sometimes that's really all it takes. Your competitive edge can be, if you see your competitor doing well on TikTok and that's their main focus, take that, brand it a little bit better, a little higher quality, and take it to Instagram. Or vice versa. If you see something on Instagram doing super well, super high quality produced, very polished, make the quality a little bit worse and try to run it on TikTok. It could actually perform quite well. Now, their landing pages are super simple. I mean, we cover this on almost every video, because a lot of the videos or a lot of the case studies that we do are on Shopify stores. And one of the reasons why I love that is that literally anybody can make a website like this. Even if you have zero coding experience, zero website development experience, zero design experience, you can literally make something like this with any of the new Shopify themes. For example, the refresh theme is a really good one. It's free, so just use that theme. I'll link it in the description if you want me to. But as you see, this is set up pretty easily. They do a really nice little table here on us versus them. Just classic marketing. Like, that's what I'm noticing a lot, is a lot of marketing techniques are just being recycled, even from back in the day, but they're just modernized through content, through maybe better scripting, or just different scripting, really. They're adapted to the modern times, but a lot of these things work at a psychological level. And because of that, as human beings, we haven't really changed psychologically very much in the last 100 years. So the same things that worked back in the 50s, 60s can work now. You just have to be creative and, apply them a little bit differently. since our tools are a little bit more advanced, such as social media. I mean, that didn't exist back then, and now it does. So you kind of have to take that into consideration. But this is a very clever thing to do. And again, super easy to do on Shopify. So yes, I'm talking a lot about Shopify here, and I don't even own their stock right now, but I just think they really make it so easy for people to create like really unique experiences for people to shop on, and it's undervalued. Like Shopify as a company is not undervalued really. I mean, they lose money right now and they're valued super, super highly. But like the concept of giving people the tools and sort of arming the rebels is actually so true. And you see it in almost every case study that we do. All of these websites are replicable by average Joes. You obviously have to put in some elbow grease though. It's not just going to happen naturally. I would definitely, a big tip here, sort of that a lot of people don't think about, even though it's super common sense. When you build your website, once you're done, ask people around you about it. Ask for their opinion, even though they're not going to know obviously how to like grow a business or scale it. These people are shopping online, so they're going to tell you whether or not they think it's trustworthy, whether it looks good, and getting their feedback can be super helpful. So don't neglect people's feedback around you just because you think they're stuck in the matrix, right? That could even be a benefit to you because they may be able to give you some deep insight into consumer behavior. I know I run into that issue a lot because I don't really shop online too much. So sometimes it's easy to be disconnected from the things that you sell. But if you start trying to understand consumer behavior a little more, you're probably going to have more success. So that's a small tip and a short video, but with some very valuable lessons packed into it. I hope you enjoyed it. This is some of the research that you can expect daily in the Akemi Lab. So just thought I'd mention it because I haven't mentioned it in a few days, and I definitely think it's something you should consider if you're a serious entrepreneur. It's a resource center that I use every day, a networking community that has allowed me to meet some incredible entrepreneurs. I'm in there active every day. You should be active in there every day as well. And the community is growing super strong. So super happy about that, and I would love to have you join. Check it out in the description, but that's it. See ya.